What up, guys? Dark Harvest Rambling Series Part 2. We're on log number 12 now. What happened last time was there was an imposter. There was a suited imposter. There was a Sussus Among Us imposter who was dressed like the Slendy guy. And he broke into Chris's house, and Alex chased him out, and Alex kept chasing him. He kept running, and Chris lost him. Chris couldn't find him for a little bit, but he did find an even taller looking Slendy guy. So the real one, probably, because it caused camera distortion. So, you know, that's how that shit works in these series. So yeah. That's your little recap. That was log entry number 11. If you want to know anything that happened before that, go check out part 1. But realistically, actually just go check out the Dark Harvest channel. Also, by the way, I'm putting the link to the DarkHarvest00 channel in the description. But this series doesn't just pertain to the DarkHarvest00 channel. There's about 2 other channels that you need to know about, but they are linked on the channel. Like they're in their little like friends page, even though technically if we're talking canon wise, one of these people is not really a friend. They're more of like a friendly stranger, friendly foreigner, fruitlique fremde, right? And the other one is a friend, but you don't know anything about him yet. You'll learn. He's a very much a more prominent, like, Season 2 character. You just kind of get introduced in Season 1, though. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. You'll see. We're not in Season 2 yet. We're still in Season 1, so, like, look. You'll see. You'll understand. You'll get it. I'll make sure you do. That's a threat. Yeah. That's top of the show. I haven't brushed my teeth yet. That's nasty. Alright. We're taking a break. It's teeth brushing time. So what you're gonna want to do, you want to wet that toothbrush up a little bit, but then also you're gonna want to wet your mouth up a little bit. Alright. Yeah. So the next thing, you know, you got your toothbrush wet, you got your mouth wet. It's time to put a happy serving of toothpaste on that fucker, right? And you're gonna want to just put that fucker, submerge that fucker in water too, right? And then boom, we get on to the main course, right? You put that shit on your teeth. Oh. Make sure your facial hair isn't all getting into your mouth and becoming a problem. And then you ugh. Ugh. That's how you brush your teeth, boy. Ugh. Woo! Ugh. Alright. Now, nice. I was just looking outside for a second. Now, let's just jump into it. Log number 12. Log number 12. This is where we pick up with our Dark Harvest boys, with our little Dark Harvest boys, Chris and Alex. So, video starts. Chris, Alex walking down the road, and yet again, Chris is like, "You really need to have the camera on when we're just like hanging out with friends." Chris straight up just says, "Man, I never don't have the camera on." Right? And then Alex is like, "I don't know, man, it's just a little," he doesn't finish his sentence. Chris is like, "A little what?" Alex is like, right, he doesn't finish his sentence again. Chris is like, "Look, man, he's not gonna care. Whatever," right? So they're walking up to a house that we have not seen before yet. New house just dropped. It's one of their friends. So they hang out with their friend Greg. Greg seems like a cool guy. They're just having some fun, some laughs, some goofs, some gaffs. You know, couple of jokes, couple of jokes. They're joking, right, or whatever. You know, they vibe with their friend, and then they gotta head out. They gotta head the hell out. They gotta go. Not because anything really important happened. You know, they just gotta go. It's time for them to leave. But yeah, they're hanging with their friend Greg, and they're having a grand old time, a grand old Opry or whatever. So they walk out of Greg's house. You know, they're talking about how they had a nice time, and then Chris pans the camera up to across the street from Greg's house, and we see the guy himself, KinderVonDerRitter. We see the guy from the video 218, right? Which is just Chris's address. Creepy as hell. But we see him. He's standing in a driveway across the street from Greg's house. He is just there. Yeah, they say, "I think we should just rush him." You know, there's two of us and one of him. Yeah, potentially smart, I guess, but he's just standing there kind of staring at Chris and Alex, and they're staring back at him, right? They start to they decide, you know, let's just approach him. Let's see what's up. And as they start to walk closer, the camera starts to go a bit like, you know, a little audio distortion. They get real close to him, you know, they're on the driveway now. And the audio distortion gets worse, and then the camera distortion starts happening, right? Start getting inverted colors and shit like that, right? There's a strong energy, a presence growing around this guy, this fella. And as they get closer, you know, Alex is like, "Yo, what do you want?" And bro pulls a motherfucking knife out, a big kitchen knife. And bro's got that thing on him. He's strapped, right? So they run away. They run back to Greg's house. They run to Greg's house. Greg lets them in. They rush in. They're like, "There's a guy outside. There's a guy with a knife. Guy outside. Lock doors, bruh." They're like, Greg, call cops. Phones are dead. What? Yo, phones dead? Bruh. Yo, all their phones are dead. They can't call the cops. And then Greg starts looking out the window. And he's like, I think I've been followed by this guy too, right? Like white face. Bruh. So, yeah. Greg's been followed by this thing, along with Chris and Alex. And they decide, you know, let's go hide in the basement. Let's get the hell away from this thing, from this, you know, spooky. So they get down to the basement, right? To get some lights on. All the shit's locked. They're seemingly safe. They're freaking out down there. So Greg's explaining that, you know, this dude's following him, but if he wanted to hurt him, I feel like he would have done it already. You know, like he's been around Greg's house and stuff. Then they hear a noise upstairs, and the audio distortion starts to go a bit for again, right? So anytime he's pointing the camera towards the stairs and towards the upstairs, audio distortion. When he's pointing it back at Alex and Greg, no audio distortion. So there's definitely something going on upstairs. So, you know, they keep talking a little bit, and you know they're just spooked. They're freaked out. Understandably, there's someone in Greg's house, and you know, fucking Chris is like, we probably brought this on to you, Greg. The same guy's been following us. Have you seen the videos we post online? Greg's like, no. And fucking Chris is like, look, man, I'm just scared. That dude could break down that fucking door any moment and just fucking kill us. And Greg's like, look, Chris, calm the fuck down. There's nothing we can do at the moment. The lights at this point in the basement have seemingly stopped working. And Alex is like, I don't want to fucking die down here, man. They all decide we gotta do something, right? So they start grabbing things from the basement to use as weapons so that they can rush upstairs. So they rush upstairs, and there's no one. But they all three decide, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Kind of looks like some kind of distorted thing plays on Greg's computer first, right before they leave, but I don't know. That's seemingly unimportant, or whatever. Alright, the next video is an upload by KinderVonDerRitter. Trauer mein Verlust. Trauer mein Verlust. I don't know what the fuck that means. It's in German, man. I don't speak German. Alright. So, this video is a recording of a clock. And it says, time is nearly up. Freund. Which kind of looks like it's saying friend. And it kind of looks like from the title of that video, Freundlich Fremde, Freundlich Fremde or whatever, right? Friendly stranger. So this is most likely saying time is nearly up, friend. Alright, the next video is update number 2. The description reads, talking to Greg about what he's experienced, hoping it will help us figure things out. Yeah. So, they start the conversation out asking Greg, like, how long this been happening? And Greg says, at least a little bit since school started letting out, right? But then Greg also says that when his dad's there, he doesn't really see him. He says that it happens a lot when he's, alone, when he's, sleeping and his dad's not there. So, next question they ask is, then they say, it only really happens when their parents aren't around. Then the next question they ask Greg is, is it has he ever threatened Greg? Because up until the last time where he pulled a knife on him, there was never any threat of violence. It was just weird shit. It was just scary shit. So, Greg also says that he's never been violent to him. He's never touched him or anything like that. But he did wake up one night, and he saw him outside his house, so he tried to talk to him. And the dude never, responded back or anything like that. So, we get a little confirmation that Chris has been filming himself all the time. Alex has started filming himself, and they tell Greg to start filming himself. Because it's proof. Because it's proof of something that's going on. And, trying to find something right now. I'm trying to find something in the comments. We get a comment from Chris that says, although I do believe he's been filming himself at least some of the time lately. Talking about Greg. Or Greg or Alex, right? Talking about one of them. But yeah. Chris has been filming himself a lot. Little paranoid guy. Understandable. Creepy happenings. Also get confirmation that the police at this point are no help. Because they're kind of seeing him as like a boy who cried wolf type situation, you know? So we get confirmation that the person that Greg's been seeing is very tall, pale face, wears a suit. Huh. Interesting, right? Interesting. Log 13, baby! Alright, so in this one, Alex is trying to find a ride to work. It's not working out. So he just walks to work. But he's got his camera on him, so he's recording. He's recording things, right? It's like recording around the neighborhood and shit, you know. Gets to that spot where Chris saw the Slendy guy that first time. But nobody's there at the moment. And he gets to that like frozen over lake where the cultist man, where the imposter, masked imposter man ran off in an earlier video. And then we cut to footage of Alex recording a patch of trees and he's yelling like, "Who's there? Who's fucking there?" So we get some random ass footage of, you know, Alex filming a bunch of random spots, and then he records like towards a playground looking area, and his camera starts to distort and he runs. Then it cuts to footage of Alex at night. He's walking around and he has his camera pointed in one location. Then he turns around and there's a big tall man in front of him, a big tall pale-faced man, big tall slendy man. That is the end of log 13. Well, that's not fully the end of log 13, you know, camera distortion, audio distortion, all that shit, right? Then we cut to some seemingly innocuous footage. Some footage that doesn't really link up with the footage that we've seen before, but it's like the big tall man through like a doorway or something. I don't really know. It's like, you know, all we see is like a like a suit and tie through the doorway. It's some spooky stuff. Some spooky stuff. So, next video on the timeline is an upload from KinderVonDerRitter called Caligari. It is... The video starts with, like, footage of, like, an eye getting closer to the screen. And there's text kind of in the back that says, "Prepare yourselves for the coming of the fourth dawn." I do believe that's what it says. And then the next bit of text is, "The first dusk is high or nigh or something." It says something. The first dusk is. That's pretty much what I can read from this. I think that's what I'm reading. I don't know. It's hard to read. Go watch it for yourself. Video is called Caligari. It's in the first season of Dark Harvest. Go, link in the description. Go check out the channel. Go check out the channel. Next video on the timeline is cut up into two parts. It's all kind of one bit of footage, but it's cut up into two parts. Log number 14-1 and -2. So we're kind of gonna... We're gonna go through -1 first, and then we're gonna go through -2 next, right? This is gonna be a whole last thing. So, let's just fucking jump into it. The description says, "There's too much to explain. I'm going to have to withhold details at the moment. This is the footage from Chris's camera. I will upload the second part within the hour. I'm just glad I can upload this before if/when it gets confiscated. Alex." This is a message from Alex, right? We get an upload from Alex on the channel instead of Chris for the first time. We're entering new territory. So what I'm guessing is this is footage from Chris's camera, and then -2 is going to be footage from Alex's camera. So yeah. Log number 14-1. Let's just jump into it. Alright, so the footage starts. Chris, Alex, and one of their friends is going to. They're driving somewhere. Most likely Greg's, because I remember Greg mentioning something about a little party in update number 2. Right? Greg was talking about getting some bitches and hoes over, right? Yeah, shout out Greg. But yeah, so they're heading over to, I'm guessing, Greg's party. Okay. So they get to their destination. There's a bunch of people standing outside of a house, right? They ask, yo, what's up? And one of their friends says, yo, Greg's not answering his door, right? Some weird shit. So yes, confirmed they are going to Greg's house. And also, Greg's not answering his door. Weird, a little bit interesting, a little bit goofy, right? But, there's a group of friends here standing outside of Greg's house. They keep knocking on his door, they're calling him, right? Greg's not answering. Keep getting his voicemail. Some weird shit's going on. Chris and Alex kind of go to the side and they're like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, you think something happened to Greg? And, yeah. Footage cuts, and then we cut back. They're still waiting outside. Chris and Alex go off to the side again, and they're like, yo, I think we should go check it out. It's been like 15 minutes. Still no answer on the door. That's kind of iffy. That's kind of weird. And they mentioned that, maybe we should try and break into his house. Greg was saying that weird stuff's been happening when his dad's not around. And his dad isn't here this week. So, they're kind of implying that something may have happened to Greg that they don't know about yet. And that's why he's not answering his door, and that's why this weird shit's happening, right? So one of their other friends walks up and he's like, yo, you guys have any idea of what's happening here? And they're like, he would have answered already, unless he's like asleep, but his car's here, so he's definitely here, So there's shit afoot. There's shit afoot. Why did I say it like that? There's something going on. There is shit afoot. I'm fucking stupid, dude. I'm retarded. Holy shit. Golly goddamn. Friends like, Chris and Alex are like, I don't know, I think we should go check on him. And then their friend is like, yo, you're thinking about breaking in? It seems a little, pushing it too far. But Chris and Alex are like, I think we need to kind of break in. So they decide, let's go around back. Let's go check out the back door. And as they're walking around the back, they notice that all the lights in Greg's house are, like, just completely off. They get to the back door and it's locked. So they can't get in that way. They decide, we're going to have to climb through a window. And on one side of the house, the windows are kind of low, so it is a possibility that they can do. They can climb in through the window, get in through there. They go up to the windows, and it's pitch black in the house. Chris is being a little scaredy guy. He's being a little scaredy guy. It's like, I'm not going in without a flashlight, bro. I'm not going in without a fucking flashlight, bro. Whoa, bro, what the fuck, bro? Little muscle man moment. So their friend goes to grab a little flashlight out of the car that he has, an emergency light, Shout out to their friend for keeping that thing on him, My bed sheet's coming off. I have to fix it, but I'm gonna keep the camera on. I don't care. Fucking gay. Oh, dude. I hate fixing my bed sheet. This shit sucks. This shit sucks me off. This shit fucking sucks me off. Oh my god. Oh my lord, this shit literally is sucking me off. Me when a succubus breaks in my room. Oh my god, she's literally sucking me off. Oh my god, she's literally sucking me off. I got crumbs and shit all over my bed too. Nasty as fuck. I'm living that grody lifestyle. That disgusting grody lifestyle. My lifestyle, let's give this some beginning. My lifestyle, let's give this some beginning. My lifestyle. Oh my god. Dude. The bedsheet came off in the one spot where it's hardest to put the bedsheet back on, which sucks. Your lifestyle. Oh, living like love you. It's all forgiving. Grody bedsheet, my bedsheet. A little black heart, forget this some beginning. Forget this some beginning. Ugh. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Oh, top of the morning. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Oh. All right. Bed sheet fixed. Bed back intact. Did you guys see any? You guys see any like spooky Slenderman ass creepers in my room when I was setting up the bed sheet? Or did you just see footage of my ceiling and my fan? I don't know. Could be scary, could be creepy. I don't know. Freaky as hell. Yeah, well, you freaky as hell. Alright, let's just jump back into it. So, their friend's going to grab a flashlight. So, they get the flashlight, Alex grabs his camera, and the flashlight works great. It works perfectly. It's a big flashlight. Big flashlight. Bright light. Nice situation, So, shit's going good. Shit's coming up. Or whatever. I don't know. Greg's still gone, so maybe I shouldn't say shit's coming up. They're on the come up right now, man. They're on the come up right now. Their friend's gone, and but they got a big flashlight, so they're on the come up. So one of the windows is already unlocked, ready to be opened. So they open it, point the flashlight around in the house. Looks creepy as fuck. I wouldn't go in there personally. Hell no. They help like fireman carry fucking Chris into the window pretty much. It's a funny little moment. I don't wanna go and watch log number 14-1 yourself to see these funny little jokes that they're pulling out in this moment while they're laughing about carrying Chris's fat ass into the fucking window. It has a great joke. It has a great joke in it that maybe hasn't aged so well anymore. But it's so fucking funny, dude. So, Chris gets into the house. He has the flashlight on him. Sorry, there's a little buggus on me, a little nasty buggus. Little fucking nasty bugs in my home. Specifically, the bugs are fleas because the fucking... We got a plenty full of cats in the house, and it's summertime, so you know how that goes. Fleas infiltrate. They come in, they infiltrate, right? So, yeah. But yeah, they get Chris in the house. He's got the flashlight, and he's gonna go open up the front door. So Chris is walking through the house, and the window shuts. Right? And he's like, "Why the fuck did they shut the window?" So he gets the front door open, but the front door has two doors, right? The big wooden door and then the screen door. Big wooden door opens up. Screen door does not. Window shuts on its own, right? Because Chris and Alex, one of their friends calls Alex and their friend Jesse over, so we get a confirmation of who was with them. It's their friend Jesse. You know, they call him over, and fucking, they're seemingly, they did not close the window, and this door won't open, but Chris wants the door to be open, the screen door to be open, so then someone can come in and help him look for Greg. So someone definitely, that window got closed, and it seems to be broken now, because it doesn't want to open back up, right? So, something's going weird in this house. But Chris is like, alright, I'm just gonna go look around for Greg real fast, right? Real fast. Not gonna dilly-dally or anything like that, just gonna go look for him real quick. He's pretty much saying, I'm gonna go find Greg, and then I'll be right out, right? In and out, 20-minute adventure real quick. The lights don't seem to be working in the house. Creepy as fuck. So Chris just decides, I got this flashlight, I'm gonna start looking around the home. Gotta go find Greg. Chris walks around the house, he walks upstairs, can't find Greg, goes into Greg's room, can't find him, right? Starts to go towards the basement. Whew. Now when he starts to go towards the basement, creepy little noise plays, a little voo, right? Audio distortion. As he starts to go into the basement. So Chris gets down in the basement, and as he keeps getting lower and lower into the basement, right? Audio distortion plays even harder. He finds Greg seemingly laying on the ground, so he walks up to Greg. It's like, yo, Greg. Pokes at him a little bit. Greg's arm moves down, and Greg has been seemingly fucking disemboweled. Dead as fuck, right? Audio distortion and visual distortion starts at this moment. And Chris starts to run out of the house. And after that, Chris, when he starts running up towards the stairs, a big tall man with a suit on is at the top of the stairs, blocking his path. And the video cuts off right there. So now we are on to log number 14-2. It is perspective from Alex's camera. The description reads, I'll explain what I know in the future. At the moment, I'm too shaken and I should be getting back to the hospital. This is another message from Alex. He has now seemingly uploaded the footage of -2. So he was able to get it up before his camera may be confiscated or when it gets confiscated, right? But, so the footage starts out from what we saw at the point in the video when they got the light, Alex got his camera. Chris, they help Chris up into the window, and then, while Chris is searching around the homestead, Alex and Jesse go off to the side from everybody else, and Alex starts to tell Jesse about what's been going on. So Alex and Jesse talk a little bit about how, there's been this guy that's following us, some paranormal type shit's been going on, and he's just catching Jesse up on what we already know, telling him that they've been uploading videos onto YouTube as proof of what's been going on, and he's just catching Jesse up to speed of what the situation is and what is going on in their lives, right? All the weird shit. So that's pretty much that start of the video. The part that we didn't get to see from Chris's perspective. And then their friend calls him over, and that's where we saw in the video where Chris is like, hey, why'd you guys close the window, blah, 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 right? Chris is like, I'm gonna go walk around the home. And after Chris goes and decides to go check around the home from what we saw in log 14-1. Alex goes back to explaining to Jesse what's been going on. There's this dude, KinderVonDerRitter, and just, all the weird shit that's been going on. He's catching him up to speed. So, he catches Jesse up to speed, and he ends it off by being like, that's why we feel like we need to check on Greg, because this whole situation is scary as fuck, and we don't know if Greg's in danger or not, something like that. Alex tells Jesse, like, why we didn't tell you about this, because we didn't want to get many people involved. So, some people start leaving Greg's house. And then, some of the people there are talking about how Chris hasn't been back in, like, 15 minutes. Shit's getting spooky. So, Alex is starting to get a bit freaked out, so he decides... him and Jesse get the window open up again, and then he decides, let's I'm gonna go in, right? And he'll try to get the door open. So, Alex goes in, and he starts bucking up against the door, right? He gets it open. Gets that door open. So front door, screen door is open now. We got a whole group of homies trailing through the house, now looking for Greg and Chris, not just Greg anymore. Jesse and Alex start to walk towards the basement. As they get down towards the basement, little plays, a little audio distortion. Alex finds Greg's body, and then he finds Chris on the ground, who is seemingly incapacitated. Video ends there. Alex gets up on Chris. He's like, yo, Chris. Chris is unresponsive. And, yeah. Shit's going down. Greg is dead. Alright? Rip Greg. Yeah. The footage ends with, like, Jesse puking into a toilet. Or gagging into a toilet. So, yeah. Jesse also saw Greg's body. Seemingly. I mean, I think I would throw up if I saw a dead-ass man on his ground. Dead-ass dead homie dying on the dirt. Alright. And next video is update number 3. Yeah. So, in this video, video starts out, Chris and Alex sitting in front of a camera, right? They said that we need to address some things to you. 1, Chris is okay. As you can see, Chris is here with Alex right now. And, Greg is dead. He was dead on arrival to the hospital. He was missing some organs. So, Alex went to go visit Chris, and at the hospital, he went to go visit Chris at the hospital, and at the hospital, detective pulled him Alex aside, and told him that this case was not unique, and that there was multiple people across the country who have died in this way. Organs missing, disemboweled, Chris says that the same detective approached Chris when he was released from the hospital, and the detective was just acting strange, and he didn't know what bureau he's from or anything like that, but the detective was just acting strange. Asked for identification, because it's always good to ask any kind of officer that, and the detective just kept avoiding his questions and stuff. Chris said that this detective was a big dude, and the detective kept asking him questions, and Chris felt obligated to answer the questions. Goddamn pigs, coming at my boy. Don't you do that to Chris. He's a good little glasses-wearing man. He didn't do shit. He would never kill his friend Greg. He's innocent. You fucking get off him. So, this cop tells Chris and Alex that this murderer is named the Tall Man, and he's usually seen before or after the witness sees the crime, but he's never caught at the scene of the crime. He's just witnessed at the scene of the crime, but then seemingly disappears before any law enforcement gets there. Right? Sound familiar? And also his MO is usually taking organs. Something we haven't really heard of from this big tall man before, but, you know. Sunny Guy's a mysterious man, you know. Maybe the big tall Slendy guy, he works in mysterious ways. Sometimes he takes full people to eat or feed off of or something. Sometimes he maybe just takes organs as a little snack or some shit. I don't know, man. To the big Slendy guy, these human beings are just food for the gods. They in this world, in this Slenderverse, people are just food for the gods, and if you're marked, you're marked. He's seemingly a tall man, though, always a tall man. 8 feet tall. Some people are reported taller, but you know, big tall man, taller than your average human being. And that kind of helps with confirming that, like, in the last part that we talked about, right, from log number 10 and 11, that dude dressed like the Slendy guy with the mask on, that's not him, because he's tall, right? He's really tall. There's no way that dude was the Slendy guy, because, you know, I mean, he ran, he pushed Alex down in the snow. That's not characteristics of the Slendy guy. Slendy guy don't run. Slendy guy don't push. He uses mind tactics to hurt, right? But he doesn't push, he doesn't run. He does move from time to time, but he doesn't run. We have definitely seen the Slendy guy move before. We've seen him walk, right? We've seen him move forward. We've seen him teleport. He doesn't run. He doesn't need to. He's too hulking of a presence. He's too big of a guy to even need to run. It's too scary of a situation for anyone to need to run from him. It's nothing like that. But Chris and Alex say that they're determined to get to the bottom of who killed Greg, determined to get to the bottom who's stalking them, and just all kinds of stuff like that, right? You know, they're determined to figure out, get answers, find out what the hell is even going on anymore. But they're determined for answers, and then keep investigating into KinderVonDerRitter, because he seems to be like the best. KinderVonDerRitter seems to understand what's going on, and kind of seems like the best lead that they have at the moment. Besides that, they're lost, and they're just looking for information. And the video ends on that. But we are not done with this video just yet, because there's a long-ass description to read. So, the description starts. Our deepest condolences to the family of Greg, who was one of our dearest friends. You will always be missed, buddy. Rip Greg. The next part of the description continues. We're trying to explain everything to the best of our ability after seeing log number 14. I had no idea that Alex even saw Greg's body. I don't remember much at all after seeing him. What I do remember is waking up at the hospital. This whole situation is so out of hand that I feel we can no longer run from it. We're going to have to deal with it, and deal with it ourselves, considering both our trust in the police has really been waning recently. Some information we gathered about KinderVonDerRitter, who seems to be our best lead at the moment, may be useful. Any help you could give us in determining what this all means would be very much appreciated. We're going to be keeping a close eye on his activity. And then, here is his YouTube channel. And then it's a link to his YouTube channel. And this is a blog that we assume was created by him. And it's a blog that is titled KinderVonDerRitter.blogspot.com. One strange. All right, and then after these links, and just some accounts that KinderVonDerRitter has. One strange thing that I noticed about this blog is it's titled "Children of the Night," and it also addresses KinderVonDerRitter, which translates the same, "Children of the Night." Children is plural, which makes me wonder if there are more people than just KinderVonDerRitter. Oh wait. It also it's addressed KinderVonDerRitter. Yeah. Kind means child, kinder means children. Alright. That differentiates. Children is plural, which makes me wonder if there are more people than just KinderVonDerRitter that know what is happening to us. That is the end of the description. That is the little note that Chris leaves for us in the description. So yeah, they're gonna be investigating what in the hell, boy, is going on in this whole situation. And as Chris and Alex continue to investigate, that is where we will stop now, and we will pick back up with this in part 3. Part 3, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that is where we're gonna pick up back with this in part 3. But for now, we are going to end this off. Thank you for watching. Very greatly appreciated. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Kisses and smooches. Bro fist. My